they have good credit and they don't mind putting you on there. Now, I didn't give her my card to use, just added her name as if she was able to use it. So if you can have those type of things, you can actually assume their scores, and it really is something that can be very, very helpful.
Got a question?
Go ahead.
Disputing inaccurate reporting and negotiating with the creditors. Found that that's kind of hard to do because some of those creditors tell you, no, we're not going to remove that. And you know, I was under the influence that after 7 years, it should drop off, but it does not.
Okay. Those are good questions. So I'm gonna answer the first one.
Okay.
When you're disputing, you have to have supporting documentation. And you do have to send it in. You can't just dispute. In fact, in today's time, you can't get approved for a loan with disputes on your credit report. So you do have to follow through with the disputes and clarify them. So if I said, okay, and I do have an example in my own life where I went and found out someone had identity theft. Someone had taken my social security number and they had decided to give them an apartment in Florida. And they didn't pay it. And it was on my credit, so it was affecting my scores. Well, I had to prove it. I couldn't just say it wasn't me. I had to actually prove that it wasn't me. They also had a cell phone and all kind of good stuff, but it wasn't mine. And it was inaccurate, and it was on my report. So I followed through until they removed it because I could show supporting document that I never lived in Florida. I did not live in a housing project, and I did not have a Bell cell phone. So, you know, there were things that I had to do, but you do have to not just dispute, but follow through and clarify those disputes. When it comes to negotiating, if there is something on your credit and someone's saying, hey, you owe me this, why not call them and say, why don't I settle it? Because you gotta think about it. You owe them. They know they're not gonna get paid at the rate that we're going. So if I call and say, hey, I will be willing, I know I owe you $1,500, but I'll be willing to pay you $1,000, would you take it? It's a settlement, it's a negotiation. They may say, I'll take $1,100, okay. Will you remove it from my credit if I pay it? Nothing fails but a try. And if you don't try, you fail already. So that's how that works as far as the disputes. Did I answer your question?
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations, they're gonna be talking a little bit more about that, but I know bankruptcy, those type things, they don't fall off for 10 years. Is that right? So, you know, the whole 7 years and life starts over doesn't apply to every situation. But in most credit situations, you're looking at scores, and if you have a good history for 2 years, in most cases, other than bankruptcy, debtors court, and foreclosures, you're gonna be fine. If you have 2 years good trade history without having any liens, judgments, garnishments, then you're gonna be fine. You don't have to really worry about my lake falling off 7 years from now. That lake's not gonna affect you a whole lot if it's 2 years old, because your credit score is not gonna be drugged down over just a 30-day late or a 60-day late. Okay. And you do need to get pre-approved. That's gonna be something that's gonna be very, very important. I can remember the agent, my first agent, came out, showed us houses, and like I said, she never asked me any of the pertinent questions like, do you have a job? Or do you have money saved? Or do you have, yeah, those important things, right? So that was a bad situation for me because I had a job, but I hadn't been on it long enough. And so those are things that's gonna be really, really important. And these are some of the things that the mortgage lenders, now we have a couple of lenders here and they are dynamite. So they're gonna talk to you really, really strongly about the programs that are out there, what they can do to help you, and even cover some things that I may miss. But I'm gonna try to cover some of the real basics so that they can spend more time talking to you about how you can get in a property without having any of the money out of your pocket being used, how you can do some things that you probably didn't even know you had options to do, okay? So these are some of the things that they're gonna need. They need 2 forms of identification, but they also need proof of citizenship. Proof of citizenship is simply, can be your social security number. And I learned that the hard way. I had a wonderful couple, and they were Getting ready to purchase a home, we had extra credit, we had tax returns, we had all of the things, but we didn't have citizenship. So that was a small problem. Most recent pay stub covering 30 days. Most recent bank statements covering 60 days. And guess what they don't wanna see? It's okay to guess.
Overdraft.
Right, they don't want, that's not the one they wanna see. Okay, that ain't the account. You know how you got 3 accounts? That ain't the one to give them. Okay, so don't give them that. All right. Now, W-2s for the last 2 years, or 1099s if that applies, if you're self-employed. Profit and loss statements if you're a business owner. Tax returns for the last 2 years showing all of your schedules. So they're gonna be, you know, they now kind of like to look at your tax transcript. So you know how you wash cars on the side so that you can claim all the soap and stuff against your income and zero yourself out? So you get 2,000 miles back. Guess how much your income is today? It's okay to guess.
0.
Oh, good. Oh my God, y'all are so good. That's right, your income becomes 0. So I really want you to be educated today. I don't want you to go, if you know you wanna buy a house, you gotta prepare yourself, and you can't zero out your income. So don't file everything and everybody against, you know, there are people that still look for people to claim. Can I claim your baby? We still gotta make sure we show some income. So anyway, DD 214, which is for veterans. If you are a veteran, you need your DD 214, and then you need to make sure you have proof of income, because you don't have to have a job. You can have Social Security, you can have alimony, you can have child support, you can have whatever anybody want to say that they're gonna give you on a regular basis that you can prove. That's income to us. So anything like that absolutely works. Anybody have any questions? Because I like questions, and because we're so informed.